Good morning, boys and girls. I just wanted to do kind of an update. Some of you may be wondering what happened to my family's house. Um, they did destroy it. Right now, it is a heaping pile of just brick and mud, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Um, but I've chosen not to do anything about it this weekend because I have more important things to remember right now. It is an absolutely beautiful Sunday morning on September 11th, 2011. And the things that we have to remember are those who died on this day 10 years ago. The over 3,000 souls that were taken from us because, in my opinion, the government wanted a disaster so that they could exhume control. And that's exactly what they've done. Right now, from the reports that I've seen and heard, New York is a police state at the moment. In New York City, well, and in all the 5 boroughs, from my understanding. It's a police state. There are checkpoints everywhere. There are people being turned away from the city. And they're going to make a ruse out of this catastrophe and play it off like they're doing it for the best interest of the United States. And I don't think that's right. Now, some people may think that, excuse me, I'm going to sit down here. Some people may think that I may be a little bit of an extremist, saying the things that I do. They may think that I'm wrong, and they may think that I'm, wanting to incite violence, but I'm not. If you don't believe that 9/11 was contrived by our government and those who run it, look at the facts, study the facts. It was, each building, each of the 3 buildings, the Twin Towers 1 and 2, and the Salomon Brothers building, Building 7, each one of them were blown up with squibs, squibs that ignited the charges, and, plain as day view on any video that you can see of the 9/11 incident when it came down, when each of the buildings came down. Since then, the 9/11 first responders have been met with absolute tyranny. They have been denied medical coverage, and many of them have died. The reason, as I previously mentioned, they're denied medical coverage for the asbestos poisoning and the cancer that it's causing it, or the cancer that's caused from. We have a responsibility in this country to stand up to tyranny, to stand up to oppression, to stand up for what we believe is right. For those of you who may see this and think that a bunch of Muslim extremists from some caves did this, you're sadly mistaken. Um, the people that were flying the airplanes may have been Muslim, possibly. Um, but nevertheless, they were still working for our government. That's on record. Um, you can look up their white papers. Every single one of them were CIA assets, and or working for the government at the time of some form or another. Now, you also have the fact that, when the Salomon Brothers building came down, there was news coverage at the time that showed cops and firemen running away saying that, telling everybody to get back because they were getting ready to blow the building. Pardon me. You can find that video anywhere. It's on YouTube. It's not fake. It's absolutely real because it's part of a news broadcast and somebody's live video. There's the fact that, magically, before the buildings came down, amongst all the burning rubble, or maybe it was right after, I can't exactly remember at the moment. Nevertheless, a policeman happened to look down on the ground and find a couple of passports that happened to belong to the supposed hijackers of the planes, in perfect mint condition. Does that seem odd to you? Nobody else's belongings were found. There was no luggage found. There was no evidence of anybody else other than 2 passports that happened to belong to the supposed hijackers. If you buy that, wow, you are a puppet of the system. And then there's the fact that, since then, everybody that tries to speak out against 9/11 is either met with disdain, arrested, ostracized, and or worse. There have been several cases that people just mysteriously end up dead. People that were affected because their family was there, and they've chosen to spoke out against it. These are the things that we need to remember about 9/11. These are the things that we need to stand up against when we remember this day. They've named this day Patriot Day. My belief is that the true patriots in the world and in the United States need to stand up against the people that are trying to ruin it. I.e., people in our government, people that stand to gain from this 9/11, such as Dick Cheney, who on the day of, when planes were spotted, he was informed that there was planes coming and heading towards New York, and he told everybody to stand down. NORAD was told to stand down. They had a standing order all the way up till and after, because ironically they were running a training exercise that day. You have, the fact that since 9/11 and before, all the way up to a year before, they were airing numerous TV shows that depicted the hijacked planes going into New York and and blowing up or crashing into buildings. And in one particular situation, one episode of the series depicted the airplanes being hijacked and running into the World Trade Centers on September 11th. That was aired 6 months before, made about a year before the actual incident happened. There's too many coincidences that make this seem unreal. The problem with reality today is that everything that most people believe as reality isn't. That's the dream state. Reality is our government controlling us. Reality is the Orwellian view that they have, that they're wanting to control everything, and that we are nothing but sheep to them, cattle for the slaughter. You know, they don't care about us, and they want to move along their agenda. You know, there's been a huge hype that something could happen today on 9/11, the anniversary of, and you know, they've been saying that there's a bunch of hype that 9/11 is you know, a terrorist dream because of the fact that, you know, they're going to use this 10th anniversary to create more terrorism. So I want you to know, boys and girls, that if something happens today, the only terrorists that are creating it are the people that work for our government. I want you to know that. That is my firm belief. Okay? Our government are full of people who work for and work with terrorists. You know, I may do another video to kind of coincide with this one a little bit later today, but for now, this is TK Owens, and you're watching TKO TV. You have a wonderful day, and please remember,